I found a new soundtrack to Lasombra.
Oh,
And it's a Masked Intruder song.
Oh, hell yeah. Which one?
I take what I want.
hell
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
pretty...
It's just pretty much, I'm breaking into your house. I don't care that you've called the cops, and it's shitty that you did, but it's fine, because I still have your shit.
Yeah, call the
I'm
cops.
not
You
gonna
can't
stop.
they can't unrob you.
Yeah, right.
Is that the video where they're like, they're going to the cop's house and they're like passing all the stuff out the window?
Yeah. They
Yeah.
they're like laying on the couch, smoking cigarettes, and like watching TV and throwing the TV out the window. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that one.
Oh, God, yeah, no, it reminds me of... it's a band we used to listen to a while ago because it was like Russian ska, but like Leningrad.
All right.
They've shifted their tone a little bit, so it's still like ska-ish, but it's a little bit more like Euro pop, like techno stuff mixed in.
Fun.
Whoa.
And
Weird. Yeah.
it's weird, but it works. So it's like, yeah, electro pop with like big band mixed in.
Okay.
But it's not electro swing?
No.
Thank God.
Thank
but
God. Yeah, but that band slaps. I fucking love them. I got back into them for like because I like making playlists for characters that I'm in just because it's fun for me. And yeah, they have a video for one of their songs that it's like disco mixed with some big band shit. And the whole video is just like a robbery going poorly and then them at the end just like setting a car on fire. There's just like bitches in a hot tub for some reason.
Great.
It's so good.
anyway, welcome to Blank Bodies.
Oh my God.
It's a Vampire the Masquerade V5 podcast.
Also
And-
horror.
And tabletop in general. You know
Yeah.
how it be.
Some nerd shit.
Yeah.
Some spooky shit.
Every once in a while, some gross punk shit.
Hee hee. Anyway, I'm Hunter. And as always, I'm joined by...
The John.
Hello, I'm Sarah.
And our lore bot.
James.
Damn, smoothest yet.
Yeah.
Well, you
It's
had
as
to
if
say
we've been
something,
doing
that
this for
ruined it.
almost a year. Almost.
Yeah, that's getting scary. We're coming up on that. We got some stuff in the works for that, so keep an eye out.
It's a mystery.
But currently, Lasombra.
Yes, part
Spooky.
2.
Spooky,
So-
Shadow Boys.
Spooky,
Actually-
spooky edgelords.
Oh, be
Hey.
nice.
I mean, they are spooky, and they're a little bit edgy. It is Vampire the Masquerade. That's all the clans. But,
Okay,
Yeah.
no. I mean, let's be real. 2 of them are just soft and stupid.
Leave the Bruja out of this.
I was going to
Those
be
are, they
talking.
aren't soft.
they're,
They're,
like,
they're,
They're kinda
not
stupid
soft.
nowadays.
I was talking about the Nosferatu and the Malkavians. I'm like, they're just precious dum-dums.
Look.
you put Toreador in that pile.
The
most of the
Macavians
time.
are not dum-dums. You take that.
Hey. Toreadors
gonna
aren't
argue
dumb. They're just useless.
That's not true.
Malkavians also secretly just know
Yeah.
the secrets of the universe that...
That's what happens when you have your primogen in your head.
Look,
Anyway,
they've seen the time knife.
We're not talking about the time knife today. No, we're talking
Okay.
about Lasombra history.
For the history, I'm just going to list our sources so people cannot get mad at me.
I'm mad at you.
You're always mad at me. So, the sources that I have looked through for this are as follows. Chicago by Night, Lasombra Clan Books, Lasombra Clan Book Advice, Sabbat, The Black Hand, Guide to the Sabbats, the Lasombra Novel Trilogy, Gehenna Book, Player's Guide to the High Clans, Venture Revised, Guide to the Anarchs, Vampire the Masquerade 20th Edition, Veil of Night, Libus Sanguis, the First Book, Lore of the Clans Encyclopedia Vampirica, and Beckett's Jihad Diary.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's a
if
lot.
you had to pick one clan that's like the quote-unquote high clan, which would it be?
Malkavian.
Like the Stoner Clan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say Gangrel.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say Gangrel. Much like the Venture history, I'm gonna be corralling cats this whole time. Let's go!
Ho, ho, ho!
All right, we are covering also the generally accepted history because much of the lore in World of Darkness is conjecture and rumor. So if I say a thing and you don't like it, change it for your fucking table.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm not offended. It's all good.
You're fine. History and time is all an illusion, and it's a lie.
Yeah, we're just trying to take like the biggest bullet points possible for the clan and put them in one spot so you don't have to read. What was that, like 45 books
Yeah.
to figure things out? But change it if you have a contradiction from another book you like more. Change it.
Yeah, change
There's-
it. Go for it. Somebody lied.
If you want to argue with us about this lore, that's fine. We will probably respond with, change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, change it, or this is what's in the books. If you want to change that, that's fine. But we're just quoting what's in the books currently.
Because this is also coming from 4 different out of the 5 different editions of this game, which have changed history and timeline stuff at every go around. 2nd edition changed stuff. V20 changed stuff. V5 hasn't outright changed a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of stuff they haven't touched on. I've seen more of what it is. So there is bound to be things that are different, things that... So take what you like. If you remember the V2 era specifically fondly, lean into that stuff. I think you can make a great game out of really any of this.
I would also like to state there's also several bits of evidence that do lead back to old world stuff does link into new world stuff.
Yeah, there's a specific section in the V5 core book that says, hey, if you want to play shit in the past, use the old books as references for setting. And just throw the dice mechanics from V5 on top of that.
Blam!
Bam! The book says to do it. Daddy said it was okay, so we're gonna go forward. Anywho, so
I don't like it.
The clan starts with an antediluvian. Most refer to him/it as Lasombra. The books flip between calling the antediluvian it and he, so I will also do that. So, fun with that. There are ancient texts that refer to them as Lasombra.
Yeah, because it's not like you're really going to look at that shadow monster and be like, I want to see your genitals so I know what your pronouns are.
No. As somebody who is an admitted light monster fucker, trust me, there are lots of people that want to fuck it. And that's fine.
But you don't survive it.
You might. Some people
Lasombra
do.
means shadow.
It does.
I've been tricked into clicking to links on R34 plenty of times.
That's why
not
we
a
don't
good
want
day.
to fuck it. But yeah, that name apparently translates from Proto-Indo-European as profiting by knowledge or profiting together through domination. Worshippers have also referred to him as the Shadowed One, Lasombra Baras, which roughly translates to God of the River of Darkness. Some Venture scholars have also referred to him as Lucian.
Yep.
I just thought that was funny.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're just gonna call him Lasombra, which might make referring to the clan later on confusing. I'm sorry. We'll try to parse that as best we can.
Hold on. You don't want to say something along the lines of God of the River of Darkness every time we're talking about their
Not right now,
antediluvian?
no.
Don't quote me on this because it's been a second since I've been doing the research on that script, but I think they also use Lucian in the Eurydice fragments.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I threw that note in.
Hey. Yeah, it was the Venture. I knew it.
Yep. It's all come together.
My notes paid off.
Of the clan of Lasombra say that their antediluvian was not a man of importance when he was alive. It is often said that he was a man of failure that rose to prominence after the embrace.
So the embrace is what got him going.
It apes the trope within Lasombra where sometimes they just go, this one is tenacious and spicy. We'll see if he can make it work. Yeet.
Right.
It's also the psychological principle of someone can be a very nondescript, non-functional person, but then when you put pressure on them, again, galvanize.
Make a diamond.
Yep.
Also, I think it kind of apes a lot of the Sombra ending up being one of the heading clans of Sabbat, like we've talked about plenty of times. You know, that kind of like becoming a vampire subseded your humanity and is what made you great. You are great because you are a vampire, not because anything.
Yeah, you were Jim a while ago, but now you're Jim of the Night.
And Gem of the Night is important. What little notes there are of the antediluvian says that he reveled in darkness and rejoiced at the great flooding that destroyed much of the world in ancient times. So just
That goes back to that whole liking of water thing.
yeah, and just very old school goth.
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm glad the world's dead.
So when they say great flood, are they talking about like Noah?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So okay, yeah, this is going back into like the biblical.
Yeah, we're
So-
going way, way back to the oldie times, like in the beginning.
In that statement, was that him experiencing it in the past or him viewing it from the future? So
No, like him at the time.
okay, all
At
right.
the time when this was happening, there's not a lot of details on who Lasombra was when they were alive because the clan kind of just doesn't give, like, that part's
Yep.
not important.
No, I got you. That's the reason why I was checking to see if I'm like, does that mean he was a primogen that was an antediluvian?
No, this was like this is
Yeah,
who
he-
was
he
before
experienced
was
it, yeah,
embraced. There
okay.
were 2 generations.
Yeah.
He will be of the 3rd generation.
Yep, that's what I was making sure because I was pretty sure. I was like, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
When the antediluvians, the 3rd generation, rose up in revolt against the childer of Cain to devour them, it was said that Lasombra led that movement. He was the first one to be like, fuck you, Dad, I'm going skateboarding. And by skateboarding, I mean cannibalism.
I'm going to eat you.
Yeah! There are some notes that this is potentially some slander from the Ventru because the way the texts are written in ancient times indicates that Lasombra was jealous of the power that Ventru had, and so therefore he just basically did a chessboard flip and decided to eat everybody.
Eat everybody.
Yeah, those of Lasombra are just like, they don't care. That's horseshit. That doesn't matter.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's like, eh.
We don't care, even though ironically.
Yeah, it's just like, that doesn't matter. We don't care. Meh, moving on.
Right.
It doesn't affect us. After the fall of the second city, Lasombra took control of an island in the Mediterranean. We don't know where that was. And he became a pirate lord.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There needs to be more Lasombra pirates. That's all I'm
There really does. I want more just horror scenes of people just being like, well, we're going yachting. Oh, this is great. We're doing night yachting. And then just...
All right, guys. I need you to you all to do me a favor.
Yeah.
I need you guys, not you, people who are listening to me right now. I need you guys to go ahead and make some like neonate or fledgling vampirates. And then go ahead and send them to me, because if Gideon ever comes back, he's going to have a gang.
Yes.
Sorry, Sarah.
Also, Our Flag Means Death on HBO is so fucking good.
Yeah?
It's so fucking good.
Cool.
And it's very gay.
It's very gay. Taika is basically dressed as Blackbeard, but
A leather daddy.
Leather, but it's like literally the Mad Max outfit.
Yeah, I pointed that out to her. I was like, Sarah's like, yeah, except for it's missing one sleeve. And I'm like, the Mad Max jacket is missing a
And I
sleeve.
was like, fuck, you're right, it is.
I'm like, he literally was just like, I have the Mad Max jacket.
Yes. So, progressing into the timeline, the Bronze Age. This was ancient time where it was very metropolitan. A lot of cities were built up, and there was a big trade, interconnected things. There's like actual historical evidence of trade goods ranging from as far east as Afghanistan, across into the Middle East, through the Mediterranean, and up into Europe. Big time ancient civilization, big trades. This is also the time period where, so you know the prequel shit in The Mummy with like Imhotep and shit?
Never actually watched those.
Yeah.
Why are we friends?
Never watched
Allie
the...
and I actually
Well,
rewatched The Mummy recently,
yeah.
but we couldn't get the AV cables to work properly, or the input was fucked up. So we watched The Mummy in black and white.
Hell yeah. That
Hey,
sounds dope.
no,
It
that
made
sounds...
it a really,
looked
very
really good?
artful movie.
Yeah. Well, no. It's like, you know, in the sequel where they do more like flashbacks to like explaining why the plot has happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. With like, oh yeah, Evie's a reincarnation of Princess blah blah blah. Yeah, that section.
They look so similar. No, they don't.
I actually watched a really cool YouTube video. I will link it below if I can remember. But it is a girl who went and met with a real archaeologist. And they watched The Mummy together, scene by scene, and they go over like what's accurate and what's not, and it's really interesting. So if you're into The Mummy or just that time period in general, it's really interesting.
That is neat.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
The Beatles aren't real guys.
the
The scarabs, yeah,
beetles,
they
no.
don't. That doesn't happen.
Scarab beetles do exist.
So
But-
glad that I don't have flesh.
But
I don't
going
need it
forward.
yet anyway.
So
Exactly.
1600 BCE, the mountain of Thera erupts, and it's a big ecological catastrophe. This shit is where ancient people are like, oh, Atlantis fell into the ocean. Like, this is the event that made people think that shit. So, during that time, Lasombra quit being a pirate lord and just kind of wandered the earth.
That was a mistake.
Does this... I feel like Lasombra just has a lot of midlife crises.
He's just constantly just midlife crisising.
Wait a minute. I think we brushed over something very important to me. So are you saying that in World of Darkness, Atlantis was actually just a Lasombra-controlled city?
No.
Or-
I was just trying to give some time period context.
Oh.
Because basically the Bronze Age is like the time area of like heightened civilization before there's like an ancient Dark Ages. And that's kind of the time period where like Homer's Odysseys come from, because people are just like, how do these people build these great buildings? Because we don't know how the fuck they did that. There must have been gods. So this is like right before all that shit.
Okay.
Also, to answer your question, I can't remember in Old World, but I know the one concrete reference to Atlantis is in Chronicles, Mage. Atlantis was a mage city that was supposedly when the mages still had the ability to just freely control reality.
I'm sure it's mages too, and that's why when you said she said that, I was like, wait a minute, was it Lasombra?
No.
No. She's just giving time reference.
Yeah.
The time knife.
Because, nerd. Yeah, but during his travels, he went into Africa, like in the Ethiopia-Kenya area, and this is where he embraces Montano, who was just his first childer that survived the process.
Yeah, that story is wild. I read that this week.
Ooh. Yeah, it is dark. It's very spooky. Super worth the read.
So hold up. How long was this homie alive?
Montano?
No. He's talking about Lasombra himself.
Lasombra himself before he actually had a childer that was like not dead immediately.
That's kind of the interesting thing, because if you read the Lasombra books, they will give certain timeline notes like, hey, Montano was embraced around like 1496 BCE. But then they'll reference the fact that there are, because Lasombra travels around, there's lots of cultures all over Eurasia and Africa that have references to these like dark, like masculine, like shadow entities or figures or gods all over. Like they make a note that there's cultural notes that Lasombra might have been fucking around in Africa like 4000 BCE.
Wow.
Which
What?
again, potential story hook. And this is not official, but this is a way. We've just said that's his only known childer of Lasombra.
That's the first one.
Yeah, that's the first one that lasted. But again, we don't know how the Somdi started. We don't know how these things started. They are Oblivion powers. It's an option for your
Yeah,
game.
and there's also just a lot of I as an ST don't like to do that, because then that just puts such a Eurocentric focus on like occult spooky powers.
Oh, no.
So I'm not keen on that, but like if other people want to, or say there's like, hey, tie-ins or Oblivion powers are so wide and vast through the abyss that Lasombra might have connections to other kindred like people in other parts of the world, and that's fine. That makes
Oh
sense.
yeah, no. I'm not trying to Euro wash things. I'm just, hey, it's an option if you wanted to give something.
Yeah, and there's a whole section where he went off to fucking China, because apparently Lasombra fucking loved China.
He went, don't land.
Yeah, well, he interacted with the don'ts, but there's notes of him embracing people in China around 1300 BCE. So, yeah, so between 12 and 1100 BCE is the start of that, like, Bronze Age collapse I was talking about, where there are calamities such as famines, peasant uprisings, droughts, and earthquake storms.
You know, one of those things could have been prevented.
Which one?
The peasant uprisings.
Well, I mean,
I mean, just don't treat them like shit, and maybe
And also get them food.
yeah, give them food. You're good.
Yeah, earthquake storms are terrifying, because that's where there's a fault line and you have one major earthquake, and that just jams up the line down the fault line so much you just end up with series of earthquakes down the line.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom. Yeah,
I was like, that's awful.
it's like chain lightning.
Yeah,
For
but in
earthquakes.
the dirt. One of the major factors for the collapse was also the sea peoples. Which is an actual historical thing that we have notes about, where there was just this confederacy of several different cultures all banding together to do massive pirate raids that attack several cities. There's lots of notes about them, and there's like even a temple in Egypt that denotes like their pharaoh defeating a bunch of these sea peoples. But we don't know a fuckload about them, because these people didn't actually like write notes or leave things. But if you're interested in learning more, the Sea People and the Late Bronze Age collapse from the YouTube channel History Time is so good. It's like the energy of the old good History Channel before it got into Ancient Aliens. But it's just a guy doing all this research.
I actually really like that channel a lot. There's some really great videos on there.
Yeah, fucking, if you want some historical reference, like...
So are you saying? I'm sorry. I have to touch this
No, you're
it's
good.
too cool.
No, it's fine.
The sea peoples. Are you saying these people like pretty much lived on a flotilla?
Basically, yeah.
That's so fucking neat.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some really interesting translations from that time period describing the sea peoples like rolling in from the oceans on these boats with black sails and then just torching everything and just raiding it and just fucking off.
Just being gone. Back to the flotilla.
Yeah,
Cool.
in
I like that.
VTM canon, the Sea Peoples were actually basically a cult that worshipped Lasombra and worked with him to do his bidding
Nice.
and just fucked everything up. It's
Aw.
really cool. There needs to be more pirates. I'm never gonna stop saying this.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But yeah, this piracy ran rampant in the Mediterranean until Pompey the Great of Rome stamped out piracy in 66, 67 BC. So that's hundreds of years of just raiding.
Raid. Man, it's like a WoW server in there.
Yeah.
Thanks for the thumbs up, Hunter.
I definitely think it's cool that those were just real people, though, because like when you said the sea peoples, my brain was just like, okay,
Mermaids.
so you're talking about the Rokea, or like is this a changing breed situation? What happened?
Yeah, no, like the scriptures and even like the carvings depictions of them show like people in vastly different arms and like different like skin tones and cultural denotations. So yeah, this is just a band of just random folks from different parts of the world. But I mean, considering society was collapsing, it makes sense that people would be like, we got to band together and grab shit, otherwise we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
So it's like, I get it, but also like, heck. And it's really cool and metal, and, you know, piracy is interesting in a historical sense. Having it happen to you in the time is very scary.
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
For sure.
I will say at least there are also some notes from the clan perspective that the Lasombra were the ones who initially instigated Rome, and it was due to venture mismanagement that the empire collapsed. They're like, we started this. We are the city builders. Y'all fucked up.
You fucked it up. That's hilarious.
Right? And I'm like, they've been angry at each other for centuries. But yeah, with the end of piracy in the Mediterranean, the Lasombra started putting their focus into early Christianity as their nexus of control, as well as the reign of the Sea of Shadows during the Long Night.
Yeah.
That is an actual descriptor of what the fuck happened, and I don't know how I feel about that sentence. It makes me feel very like Lord Byron writing with a quill pen.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, the Sea of Shadows, this is like Dark Ages now. So we're into that point in the book. It is the feudal area of control for the Lasombra. During the time, they basically just controlled all of the Mediterranean. Because, you know, boats and piracy and the water, that's kind of their shtick.
Mm-hmm.
It was centralized out of Sicily. So, you know, manja. Lasombra acted as the clan leader, but he would often just kind of like fuck off to go do a walkabout or just go into torpor. So Montana was in charge. So he'd just be like, all right, I'm going. Very absentee father.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm bored. I'm gonna go do a wander. Bye bye.
The power of being the man on top and just being able to be like, I'm power napping for a few decades.
Right.
Leave me alone. That is the most Shadow Cat move ever. Just, I'm bored. I'm going to go to sleep now and y'all will deal with it.
Yeah, and then poor Montana was just like, but I have to do all the fuck.
Oh, were you sitting here doing something? I'm going to fall asleep on top of it.
You know, it's very cat energy. So the central nexus of their control was Castel d'Ombro and Syracuse in Sicily. I don't speak Italian. I'm sorry. Not a language I learned.
I'll forgive you.
I appreciate it. The castle is really fucking metal as shit, and it's really cool. It's rumored that when the Mount Etna, which is the volcano, the active volcano in Sicily, when it would have lava flows, that the shadows on the castle would remain and actually animate and move on their own.
Cool.
And I'm just like, that's very, Mordor.
Yeah.
Like, it's very spooky. There's a lot
The
of
ring may have been gone, but the power is still here.
Yes.
Are there high clans that don't have some sort of badass cool castle cathedral thing?
I mean, it's the feudal era, so like everybody kind of had a cool castle.
Yeah, okay.
But this
let me
one
figure
is like
that out.
particularly metal.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, there's like secret labyrinths and all sorts of shadow shit.
I love it.
It's so fucking cool. I'm gonna skip past that right now. For the Shadow Reconquista.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yes, this does go along with the Reconquista of the time period. So for those of you who don't know, the Reconquista was when so you know where Spain is, right? That used to be controlled by the Muslims with a caliphate, like the Moors, the Berbers, and that kind of stuff. And then the Hispania, like Christian Spains, were like, nah, let's get out of my sandwich.
Get out of my sandwich?
No.
Why?
Yeah, because they're just like, we're claiming Iberia and the Holy Lands for Jesus, and all the Muslims are like, well, we're already here, so no. And then just lots of bloody conflict. So that's what this is.
Bummer.
So that is the Reconquista historical one. The Shadow Reconquista is the same conflict, but it is between the Muslim and Christian Lasombra over control of Iberia, which is Spain and Portugal.
Now, they're not actually fighting for their faiths there.
No.
They are like saying, look, my peeps are going to take your shit, right? Mm-hmm. Essentially like, I'm going to send these Christian fighters to go take your shit. I don't care that they died, right? Right? They're not invested in the actual religion at all.
The Shadow Reconquista, there is the... I also don't speak Arabic, so I'm trying my best. I'm sorry. The Qabilat al-Khayal... that's the Islamic or the Arabic name for the Lasombra. Those are there are a lot of Muslim leaning Lasombra, and apparently those ones are particularly like adherent to the faith. They're like, no, this is our bag, this is our shtick, as opposed to a lot of the Christian Lasombra who are very like, either they're super into it or they're just like, it gets me money.
Yep.
Right.
This is a nexus for power for me. Yes.
So my question there, and this would be more, I guess, apt if you were to run a game set in that time period than really for historical. But because they're very into actually being Muslim and not just using it as a power play, how do they get along with other like clans that have a very Muslim bent, like the Banu Hakim?
We'll touch on this a little bit. There is a lot of interplay between the Banu Hakim and the Lasombra.
Okay, cool.
So that's kind of fun.
Do they, also random thing just for Muslim stuff, do they also have the same, like, I'm not going to raise my knife in my own defense, but if somebody fucks around, I will pull my shadow knife out?
Yeah. That's kind of a practice within Islam that I'm aware of. I'm not Muslim.
No, it's okay.
I just have a cursory knowledge because I live in a world with other people and I should just fucking know these things.
Yep.
They are not advocates for like being aggressors, but if somebody comes at you, crush them.
Okay, good, because I always found that to be an interesting like tenet in there, and I'm like, it would be interesting to see a Lasombra like that. That's not like outwardly, they're just like, no, oh, you're stepping to me? Knife.
Yeah. But yeah,
That immediately reminds me of Satanism.
Yeah,
Cool.
basically.
That's badass.
Yeah, the Lasombra, who are Muslim, also have seats not only within the Ashira, but also the Amisi Nakti.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, when I said the Amisi Nakti is a big collaboration of all the Lasombra, like, I'm not fucking around. Like, they can be a completely different sects in there to like, well, we're still Lasombra, so here we are. So the rough of the conflict is the Christian-leaning Muslims were basically trying to push the Muslim-leaning Lasombra out of the Amisi Nakti. And they did this by refusing requests for diablerie by any of the Muslim-leaning Lasombra within Iberia or the Holy Lands. And they're just kind of like just doing a lot of maneuvering where they're just like, no. This is an area of conflict, and we need to not like throw into this because we're brethren through the shadows and And then the Muslim ones were sitting there going, "I'm getting fucked. This is bullshit.
Damn.
This is bullshit." The Amisinaki remained officially neutral on the situation, but we saw how that went.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there is some interesting notes from the time period where within the Lasombra, the Muslims and Christians at the time did actually kind of work together a little bit. So like because there's the tenet within Islam where you have to go do the Hajj.
Mm-hmm.
If one of the Muslim Lasombra was on pilgrimage and there were like Christian traders in the area, they would just be like, yeah, get on the boat, fuck it. So I'm just like, oh, that's neat. Okay.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. But yeah.
Nice to see them working together.
Yeah. I was like, see, you can disagree on things and still be friends. It's fine. Mm-hmm. Things we're not going to agree on is the first Anarch revolt, though. So this is where we get into the big nexus of the things that the Lasombra... Hold on. I kicked my mic. This is where we get into the big nexus of something the Lasombra are very proud of, which is they ate their fucking antediluvian. Because he's been kicking around and doing stuff up until this point.
And one of them was like, "I'm tired of your shit, Dad."
Yeah. Well, here is
supposedly
the rough of the situation is so we had the War of Princes and the First Inquisition kicked off. The Anarchs being like, "Fuck this! I'm tired of being cannon fodder." Some of these Anarchs did reach out to members of the Lasombra. One of them was Graziano de Veronzi. I do not speak Italian. I am sorry. I'm just gonna call him Gratiano from now on.
All right.
Gratiano.
Gratiano.
Buongiorno. Yeah, Gratiano was the last childer of Lasombra. He was an Italian noble who was very like, I'm gonna get that bread. Mm-hmm. And everyone in the clan's like, this guy's kind of a dick, but, if the antediluvian embraced him, there must be a reason, da-da-da. There are several conspiracy theories on how Gratiano fucking did it. The most accepted and preferred story is that Gratiano diablerized his sire on his own, setting the clan free and forming the Sabbat. It is believed that he had done this by manipulating the Amici Nocti, betraying Montano, and eating his tortured sire within the Castle of Shadows.
That seems kind of fishy.
It do, don't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also some conspiracy theories that Gratiano had some help. Either there were elders within the Amici Nocti that helped him do it. There were anarchs who were just like, yeah, let's take down Granddad, fuck him. There's also a conspiracy theory that the members of the Banu Hakim, at the time known as the Assamites, not only helped Gratiano, they also partook of Lasombra's blood and started the anti-tribute within the Banu Hakim. So there are potentially a bunch of fucking Banu Hakim walking around with oblivion powers.
That's terrifying.
Oh, God.
Yeah. We'll get into that later. As in a different episode. That will be the Banu Hakim episode.
Because again, we always have to acknowledge the Banu Hakim do not have their bullshit that they had in the old games. Wasn't it Quietus?
No, they still have that, but it's wrapped within blood sorcery. Not the point now.
Exactly.
But
Moving on.
there's also a other option that I like a lot that Lasombra clan members themselves will vehemently disagree with and might fight you on, which is Lasombra let him do it.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, like that he found a dude that he's like, oh, this guy's gonna be ambitious enough, and I'm a little suicidal.
Yeah, so there's a couple of different ways that this is kind of parsed out. It's either Lasombra is either like tired of being alive, or he just kind of like looked upon what he had brought in the world and kind of regretted it and was just like, all right, I'm done. But I can't tap out like a bitch. This idiot will work. And just set Gratiano up to be like, I'm going to come in and kick ass. And he's like, yep, you totally are. I'm totally not lying here. I'm so helpless.
This is not a participation trophy. It's fine.
Yeah. Or Lasombra had decided he wanted to move on to the next nexus of reality, and the only way he could do it was to get somebody to fucking kill him.
Yeah.
So by being diablerized and fed on by Gratiano, he was now freed within the Abyss.
So he's just like one with Abyss.
Supposedly. If that is what has happened, this can change in your plotline. There is notes in the text that the things that live in the Abyss don't like it. They don't like that this outsider has come in and is trying to be one with them because he was formerly alive.
Yeah.
So they are using those who are able to bend the Abyss with oblivion as ways to observe our reality, and they're trying to collapse the Abyss into our reality.
Huh.
God, or even a plot hook in your game where the Oblivion spirits, whatever they may be, are trying to force Lasombra back into our world, like basically rebirth an antediluvian.
I will get into that later.
I have a question too.
Yeah.
So is this like whatever lives in the Oblivion, is this like more of a purposeful thing? Like they are trying to do this, or is this like uninevitable? Like, what I'm picturing is you're in a cute little submarine. You got too deep, bud. And the windows are starting to crack.
That's kind of the vibe. This is, I love that this was left purposely just vague enough of a plot hook that you as the ST can fucking run with this. Where it's either entities within the Abyss that are cognitive, like the Void looked back at you and went, no. Or you can even go more Cthulhian, where it's the Abyss is just kind of there, and unfortunately, because Lasombra just had the hubris to think he could control this in any way, just accidentally left enough of a crack that it's just roiling over and spilling into basically the material plane.
Right.
And even if you wanted to make it like a little simpler, a little less like world-endingly spooky in your game. I mean, we mentioned last episode that a lot of people will hear the Oblivion like whispering to them and talking to them. Well, I mean, you may want to charge your player like it was a story. Like, what are they called again?
Story hook?
Where you buy like into like major story points.
Yeah.
Are those
Lore
called
sheets?
lore sheet?
Yeah.
You may want to charge your player like it was a lore sheet, but like the Oblivion talks to many people, but you think this might be Lasombra.
I have a note about that later on in this script.
Oh fuck! Okay.
Well, guys, now that we've talked about everything else in the script, bye.
Yeah, no, like this is such an interesting nexus point in just the overall meta plot for World of Darkness and Vampire, and how this really shapes this clan in particular, and the fact that there's so many fucking options, and you could even have players and people in your game that think that all the shit that I've said about the Oblivion is fucking real, and it for you as a storyteller be like, nah, he just ate him, fuck it. And just like your players don't have to know that.
Right.
That's a you thing. But fun side note, Graziano is still kicking about, and he is the Archbishop of Rio de Janeiro.
Huh. He
Yeah.
hasn't been beckoned yet?
Far as I know, no.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that leaves us with the fun little end note, which is Lasombra dead?
Technically.
Well, Lasombra clan members still face the beckoning. So we'll get onto this later on in the plot.
Oh, no.
So they're like, oh yeah, we killed her antediluvian, and you're just kind of like,
Then why are you getting pulled out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, so Convention of Thorns happening like right after this, so it's like boom boom. Because of the reports of the diablerie of the antediluvian Lasombra by Graziano, many in the clan just said, fuck this shit, I'm out. Didn't even go to the convention. They're like, nah, fuck this. Started the Sabbat.
Yeah.
There are a few that decided to align with and stay within the Camarilla. These are the Lasombra that are dubbed the Anti-Tribu. They are fiercely hunted by everybody else within the clan until recently. And the figurehead of those Lasombra is Montano. And he is still kicking around. We'll talk about that later. So
Yeah.
yeah, so what the fuck did the Sabbat do in the Lasombra for all these years? Their parastructure was torn apart and rebuilt, and their main focus was taking down the Camarilla in Europe. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Man, get good, guys.
Yeah, so what did Europe do in the 1600s that we're all just like, oh no?
A lot of stuff?
A lot of stuff.
Existed.
Does anybody want to read the quote? Or
Ooh.
If you want to do it, or I can, I don't mind.
Is it the people?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. Give me 1 second. A people who do not build great cities are not a people worth feeding from, let alone worthy candidates for the embrace. The European nation that the cities defines civilization is at least in part a tribute to our influence, and it is one of great truth of our kind. Gangro and other rabble notwithstanding.
Yeah, that's a quote from the Lasombra Revised book from, I believe his name is Brother Orbos or Oro.
You might want to repeat that.
Yeah, because I bumped them and I...
Yeah. So that is a quote from the Lasombra Revised book from, I believe, Brother Orbo or Oros. I'm trying to remember. I did not write that note because, again, I'm a hack and a fraud. So a lot of...
That's really cringy.
Yeah, so a lot of Lasombra at this time continued their tradition of piracy and then also missionary work and went to the New World and...
We're gonna steal your shit. God's cool.
Yeah.
Remember, we're a biblical thing.
Right.
Yeah, and yeah, there is notes in the book about people in the Lasombra and the spot like going along with Cortez. Yeah, and there's notes about there's a lot of notes about people in Lasombra from this time period being very like, well, we're a noble high clan and we're, you know, above these people and and just a lot of fucked shit.
Yeah.
So handle this in your table responsibly, please, but also, you know, ignoring the genocide of indigenous folks is not responsible. There's also the quote there I found interesting about like they don't have great cities, so therefore we're imbued by basically a divine right to come here and kick ass and take names.
Yeah.
I find funny because the book notes specifically that there are packs of the Sabbat who go into Tenochtitlan and convert it to Mexico City. And Tenochtitlan was a major indigenous city. Like, it had, like, water structures and temples and shopping markets and a fucking zoo. Like, if you actually read into the history of Mexico City, it's fucking fascinating. And, like, it breaks my heart sometimes reading about it because I'm like, I'm interested. I find it really interesting. But also just the fucking caucasity.
Yeah.
To be like, there's no great cities. Excuse me, pardon me.
Yeah, it just feels like it has that energy of a kid that built like a really great sandcastle on the beach, and then the new kid comes in and it's like, you don't understand architecture, just kicks over the castle.
Oh, it doesn't even kick over the castle, just like kicks the kids out and just takes the castle and then like puts McDonald's on it.
Yeah.
He says, I made this castle.
I did this, and it's just like, buddy.
I did this. And then the parents come and they're like, wow, that's really good. You did good.
Yeah. So, industrialization and trade over the centuries was a boon to the Lasombra, and they did well with this and continued to do all of their Sabbat work and trying to thwart the Camarilla. A lot of their focus does tend to come out of Central and South America and also up into Canada, which I find funny. We're kind of in this like Sabbat, Camarilla, Sabbat, like America's
sandwich of just
Which is
weird.
why you said get out of my sandwich earlier.
Yes.
Wow. Bringing it back.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know we're not talking about it today, but Canada is kind of just like an all man's land. Like, I don't even know if I would call it Sabbat territory as much as it's kind of just like that changes like every 20 feet.
Yeah.
Well, it's also most of the civilized in old world canon, most of the time before the Sabbat went, we're leaving everything. Most of the civilized parts civilized parts were controlled by the Sabbat. Because the forests were just like, surprise, motherfucker. Garu and Changeling, eat a dick.
Yeah.
Like,
And if you want to get into some of the Canadian interjections with the Sabbat and things, there is the Parliament of Knives, like choose your own adventure game that's out on Steam now that's set in Ottawa, and there's the board game that's set in Montreal where it has a bunch of lore in there and all that's canon, and I wanted to play that game mostly because one, the game was cool, I got to play test it at Gen Con, and two, I want the minis. I want to paint the minis so bad, but I'm broke and I can't afford that plastic. Moving on. During all these, there's also several Sabbat Civil Wars. I'll cover those fucking later.
I'm not going to record that.
Okay.
Just the...
I know.
Moving on.
Yes. So during these several decades and centuries we're going to skip through, there are several Sabbat Civil Wars. We'll cover those as a separate episode later because there's too much fucking shit and it's not Lasombra's focused. But we'll skip to 1933 with the acceptance of the Code of Milan. This was able to keep the various sections and factions within the Lasombra happy enough to continue to work with each other and kind of quash some beef within the Sabbat to be like, okay, look, we all believe in anarchy and power to the people and all that, but we have to have some fucking rules.
Yeah, some form of code.
It's kind of like having some basic acceptable behaviors, when 4chan had to be like, okay, we got to put a couple of rules here, guys, because not everything can be pony posting.
Or again, the other terrible things.
Yeah. I was just trying to keep it lighthearted with pony posting. Industry shifted, where we went from being like, oh, everything is built on industry and infrastructure and the factories and shit, and we switched to banking. The Lasombra also pivoted with that, and they did well in that shift, shockingly.
I mean, I can totally see a Lasombra being a really fucking good banker.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have they don't have the empathy to just be like, yeah, sure, we can give you a loan. I know you don't have the acumen for that. They're just not approved.
Right, yeah, or you missed a payment. Sorry, we're going to take your house. Get out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's an interesting kind of mirror with how the Camarilla also shifted their focus, but the Lasombra and the Sabbat's focus was prepping for Gehenna and fighting the antediluvians and thwarting the Camarilla. Mm-hmm. So similar tracks, different goals.
Because they're fighting the world.
Yes. And then we get to possibly my favorite fucking bit of lore with the Lasombra, which is the defection of Giangalazzi. Yeah, God. I'm going to try that again. This is a name that I've literally only read in my head up until today, and I probably should have said this aloud.
I think that would be
Galeazzo.
Galeazzo.
Yeah, I think so.
Galeazzo. All right, nailed it. I did it.
Woo!
It's also known as the Traitor Prince.
That's easier to say.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not Italian. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
We got enough.
Okay, cool. So, this person, Galeazzo, was at the Convention of Thorns. Little rewind to get to now. He played both sides of the conflict for a while, for centuries, and then eventually sold out his sire to the Sabbat, defected to the Sabbat. He became the Archbishop of Milan. Ran business out of there. In 1978, he embraced Rabbi Michaelis Bassaras, who is a major NPC within the new Chicago by Night book. Really cool character.
Nice.
Michaelis became an advisor to Galeazzo. Okay, I'm trying.
You got
We're getting there. Nailed it.
How about we just simplify it and just call him Geo?
Gian.
Gian.
There.
I like Gian more.
We're gonna call him Gian. So he became an advisor to Gian.
Or Jizo.
No.
Jeezy.
Big Jeezy.
Yes. So Michaelis, while he was doing his advisor work, took a letter from Big Jeezy, or an agent of Big Jeezy. And
Sorry, Hunter's face is just like, ow, that hurts.
I just heard Big Jizzy. And
no! Big Gian. Okay,
I
sorry.
mean, maybe in life.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe, who knows? But yeah, this agent of Gian had traveled, quote, to Iraq with the American invasion force. The Gulf War happened in 1990-91, so we're in the early 90s now. The letter had said, the time has come.
That's it?
Yes, because Gian had been working with and been in contact with the inner circle of the Camarilla while he was the Archbishop of Milan.
Damn, he like super back and forth switch.
Back and forth switchy. This plot gets sticky.
Hey, remember, their one big thing is they're survivors.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotta respect it.
Yeah, so he got this note being, the time has come. So what he does, Big G, the big man, throws a big-ass party at his mansion in Milan and invites all of the Sabbat to come to this big party for like, oh yeah, we're going to do ritus, we're going to, plot some shit, it's going to be a good time, fam, let's go. Fuckload of people showed up. At this party, Gian pulled out the last remaining original copy of the Code of Milan. He declares that he is taking Milan for the Camarilla, sets the last copy of the Code of Milan on fire, locks everybody in the mansion, and sets it on fire.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
I was like, fuck!
damn.
How does he walk? How does he walk with such heavy brass balls?
I know!
Yeah.
I don't understand.
You should just hear him clacking down the
Yeah.
goddamn hall. Like, Jesus.
He's like one of those toys you flip back and forth.
Yeah.
Clackers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're clackers. I
I'm
think.
just like reading about that, and I was like, fuck, dude! Damn.
Oh no, she stopped mid-research to talk about that.
I did. I also was like, because
Yeah.
the initial part of the research said sometime in the 20th century, and I was like, when, motherfucker? I figured out the timeline. I did. I was like,
Good
yeah,
job.
okay, this happened in the early 90s. Not only did he trap a bunch of the Sabbat hierarchy, set them on fire, burn the Code of Milan, claim Milan for the Camarilla, called blood hunt on the rest of the Sabbat within Milan, and has purged the city of all Sabbat, and he's like, I'm the prince now.
Fuck. That's intense.
Yeah, Gian's defection was seen as a big slight against the clan, and everybody was like, big mad. And then V5 happened, and the Amici Nocti went, nah, you know what? Actually, he had the right idea. We're just gonna...
Never mind. He made an advanced chess move that we like.
Yeah, though a lot of people are like, why the fuck would the Lasombra switch sides, like, pivot so hard in the paint?
Yeah.
There is a lot of fuckery going on with the Gehenna Wars that most of us are not privy to.
I was told in the Sabbat that we march to eliminate the Methuselahs and the antediluvians. We march to liberate ourselves from the jihad. It's all bullshit. My faithful congregation. He was calling us there to feed him. The crusade strings don't run to some regent or a bunch of cardinals. They run straight into the hungry dark. I can't help but think of all the bloodshed, all the Cainites' lives lost, of how we celebrated the 1 in 20 vampires who returned from conflict with a Methuselah, bloated like a tick on new power. We just forgot the 19 fallen and where the Vitae went.
Brutal.
Right?
Nasty.
Chicago by Night, quote.
Yeah. So that's the thing with the Gehenna Wars is there's a lot of really cool, interesting notes about all these Sabbat guys are like, woo, let's go, and then they go out there and they're like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
Maybe we misinterpreted.
I feel like to kind of bring it back to real world shit, that's a lot like how people were shortly after 9/11. They're like, let's fucking go, and then they get over there and they're like, this is not what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And they come back fucked up.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, I thought I was going to fight for freedom and cheeseburgers, and then they're just like, I maybe blew up a lot of people that had nothing to do with what is going on.
Yeah, with cheeseburgers. It had a lot more to do with oil and changing government systems that actually was worthless.
Yeah, so it's like, look.
It's most likely actually minerals.
Lithium.
Not oil.
Oh, yeah. Lithium. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, everything's fucked.
I'll just go for the meme post.
But yeah, if you're interested in trying to play out this kind of plot line and stuff, there is the Chicago by Night book that focuses on the Lasombra shift on factions. Because the big deal that's generally accepted as canon is the Lasombra initially tried to pledge fealty to the Camarilla and service, and the Camarilla, especially the Venture, were just like, we want sacrifices. Bring us your leadership. And they went, all right. So now it's kind of a weird waiting game where they're just like, okay, we're going to keep dragging Sabbat elders and Lasombra elders to sacrifice to be, killed or diabolized or what the fuck ever.
Right.
Don't forget those Samitzis.
That's why I included the Sabbat elders in that. And now the Lasombra are just kind of playing this waiting game of okay, how many do they want? How long is this going to go on? They're eventually going to get bored. But, I'm good right now, so fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, I think it would be a cool story twist if Big Jeezy had another 4D chess move of I'm defecting to the Camarilla, wink wink. We're going to get into the Camarilla, wink wink.
Oh, yeah, no, please play that plot line.
Right.
Oh, yeah, just Trojan horse into the Camarilla.
Yeah.
Just be like,
oh,
willing
no.
to sacrifice half the fucking Sabbat so that they can be like, all right, we're killing the Camarilla now. Boom, we win.
Yeah.
new Camarilla.
Right.
Yeah, then there's going to be also, Lasombra, they're like, yeah, we finally took down the Camarilla, but at what cost? Because now our entire society is decimated, and we got these giant fuck-off monsters coming out of the fucking snow like daisies.
Not to mention the rise of the Second Inquisition, where the Camarilla may be the only pillar standing against them.
Well, at least anything that's organized, because the Camarilla is so entrenched in the functions of mortal society that, I think parsing Camarilla from the CIA and various other functions of the government and big business and industry is going to be really hard, and that's probably one of the few things that's probably keeping the Second Inquisition in any kind of check. But, that's not terrifying at all. It's fine.
Yeah, I know, because one of my characters I'm playing has it, but there's a lore sheet specifically where I have my own CIA insider agent to pass me info who's like, listen, I know what you are, but we got a deal, so I'm going to keep them away from you. And I'm sure there's a lot bigger inside the actual Camarilla Tower, way above what that lore sheet even allows, where it's just we are on the board, have a special deal with the local CIA branch.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're interested in playing a Lasombra-centric module, pre-written game, in Chicago by Night, there is The Sacrifice.
Ooh.
It's really cool. I'm not going to spoil it. Y'all read that shit. You played at your table. You're adults.
I mean, you already gave a little bit of that story away, so I can make some guesses, but yeah, no spoilsies.
No spoilsies. Yeah, so a couple of major things in V5 to cover. The Lasombra do not officially have a Justicar. If you decide for them to have one in your game, that's on you. Major characters of Lasombra to be aware of. Montano originally comes from the Maasai people from Eastern Africa. He's the first childer of Lasombra. He has been a loyalist to the Camarilla and is still a major figurehead. He is still a major figurehead within the Camarilla for the Lasombra. There's also Licitia de Argon. She is the lady on the cover of the revised Lasombra book. She is badass.
The art's cool.
She's really fucking cool. She is the princess of Alphonse II of Aragon, who is the king of Aragon, which is basically Barcelona back in ye olde medieval Spain. Ruthless fighter, has fucked a lot of major NPCs with, romance. Used to fuck Jan Pieterzoon and Fatima Al-Fakadi. So bisexual icon.
Hey.
She's really cool. She's currently the Archbishop of Madrid. There are more details about her in Sabat the Black Hand.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There's also Tally. He was originally born in England. He has ties to lupines. He was a kinfolk before the embrace. So that's spooky. He also became a knight.
What do you mean he was a kinfolk?
Kinfolk are people who have ties in with the guru, but they're not like...
Yeah, they're not of the
transformed.
blood. They're kind of like allies.
So they're like the humans that can see like nature spirits essentially and like talk to the guru, but they're not.
They are also sometimes not of like the direct guru bloodline, but like of their family, like second cousins sometimes. There's sometimes that happens. They're connected in a way. They're like the people that they're like, oh, he's chill. He knows not to litter and he's good to nature and he vibes with the stuff.
Yeah.
Normally that's what kinfolk are.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, became an English knight. And then when he was embraced, he worked as a guard for like the leadership of the Lasombra and gained the moniker of the Hound. Which, considering his kinfolk ties, I'm like, that's mean. You guys are mean.
Yeah, this feels like
bitchy.
racist.
This feels bitchy. If you want to know about his exploits and things, there's a really good storyline in Beckett's Jihad Diary. He currently resides in the United States running affairs for the Amisi Nocti.
Going back a little bit, I have a question. So
Yeah.
if they called him the Hound,
Yes.
and there's also they brought back the old Camarilla title of the Hound of a city is the one who hunts thin bloods.
No,
Does
that's
he
the
have...
Scourge.
Oh,
The Scourge, yeah.
You're right.
The Hound
Hounds
is like
are
a
like-
sheriff's deputy.
Yeah.
Okay, so is he like the original sheriff deputy or?
No, this is just kind of like, it's kind of Game of Thronesy with
Yeah.
like just giving titles. He was a Templar within the Sabbat,
Oh, okay.
though, so he was like, he kind of like fluxes this interesting line where he's in the Sabbat, but he does have that kind of noble, dignified, like, I serve a purpose greater than myself, and that's what the fuck I do, kind of a role. It's really, the Lasombra sometimes have this really interesting where they're like, I kick ass and I'm a badass, but I'm serving somebody else and I'm going to honor whatever word I have given on the situation, and that's something he does.
So they're kind of like Ventru, where if you get them to give their word on something, you're pretty much guaranteed that word is going to be honored.
Either they're going to super fucking follow it to the T, or you're going to get fucked.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
And it's a little bit of a coin toss.
Yeah,
Right.
but to round back around to what Hunter was saying, it was probably an honorific title as well as maybe a slight, maybe.
It's very,
Yeah,
girls at the cafeteria.
And it was just like, we gave you a title. There's a bit of venom in it, but we gave it to you.
It still sounds cool. Everyone else knows it sounds cool.
Bingo.
Yes.
You might be a little pissy about it.
Yeah,
but-
exactly.
Yes. And there are some notes that Tally might still be working for Marcus Vitel. Marcus Vitel is a very interesting NPC. He was born on the Iberian Peninsula, so now what is known as Spain. He fought as a soldier for the Roman Empire. He successfully posed as a Ventru for centuries with the use of blood sorcery.
Ha!
That's not terrifying.
Yeah.
He currently rules Washington, D.C. as a city free from the cycles of the Jihad and goes by the Emperor of the Anarchs.
It's kind of a misnomer there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you say you're the emperor of people that are like against a governing system, it's like, oh, King Oxymoron. Got it.
Yeah, he worked apparently with some of the anarchs in the Baltimore area to reclaim DC. DC's a whole fucking mess. It's some great fucking shit because it was some other bitches. He was trying to get it, and then Sasha Vikos got involved, who's a big Zemitzi, and then fucking Beckett showed up, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Beckett's Jihad Diary. If you want the tea, fucking, it's a good book. But yeah, he controls it now and is basically running Washington, D.C. as a city where all kindred are welcome. You just gotta follow his rules, and his big shtick is trying to break the cycles of Jihad and Gehenna. So what that entails? Left ominously vague.
Yeah.
There
As
are
most things.
You're right. There are some very interesting
World of
rumors
Darkness.
that Marcus Vitel might not actually be Marcus Vitel.
We have a Hardstadt situation?
Worse.
Oh.
Marcus Vitel might actually be Lasombra in disguise.
No.
What?
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Oh.
Okay.
So that goes back to is the clan elder dead?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
That's up to y'all
Y'all.
and your stories.
So what they're saying is, what was the name of the guy who was supposedly ate him?
Gianto?
Big Jeezy?
Yeah, Big
No,
Jeezy.
not Big Jeezy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Gianto.
Yeah.
So Gianto, so you're saying that he may have just made a deal with him, being like, "Hey, we're gonna tell everyone you ate me." Maybe even fed him someone else who's pretty powerful. Then goes into hiding and then comes back as Vitel.
Could be. It could be Marcus stared into the abyss too long, and Lasombra's like, "Well, I'm bored."
So he could be the rebirth through someone else's vessel.
Potentially.
Also crazy enough, circling back around, kind of a plot point from Our Flag Means Death.
Yeah.
With Blackbeard and Steed.
Yes. Yeah, Marcus Vitel might be in a very homoerotic relationship with Lasombra. We don't know.
Definitely.
Who knows? It's okay.
We also have proof that multiple vampires can be stuck in the same body, and it doesn't go well. We talked
doesn't.
about that in our history episode, but
Yeah, we have 2 souls, 3 fleshes
That's,
in one.
There's
3 souls,
three
wasn't
souls.
No. The Salat, Tremere, Zamitzi, that's not a soul, that's the
No,
body.
there's also Goratrix.
Oh, yeah, Gortrix too. Oh, God, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
There's a
So we
Zamitzi
technically have
clusterfuckery.
4 beings
Potentially.
in one
Well-
little like vessel.
Again, that one clearly is, that's not Zamitzi's soul, it's just like the virus.
It's not a fucking virus. Sorry.
Also, there's
I hate it.
and if you want to go on a slightly smaller scale, there's also some interesting stuff with Mithras in that regard, but that gets into spoilers for Fall of London.
Yeah.
So read that book. We're not going to talk
good.
about it. It good. So yeah, that is the current V5 things. If you're interested in some lore sheets, the only specific one for Lasombra is Descendant of Montano, which gives you some fun bonuses for being a Lasombra that's having to interplay within the Camarilla. There's also the Oblivion Plowers, which technically are not Lasombra specific, but I as an ST tend to keep those solely within Lasombra just because it makes sense.
It's kind of weird whenever your Hakata randomly starts playing with shadows.
Yeah. Can they do that technically? Yeah. Do I allow it? Usually no, unless you have a really fucking good reason or are willing to deal with the consequences. The main nexus for the discipline layout is in Chicago by Night. There is a spicy discipline power within Sabat the Black Hand if you want to have fucked up discipline powers.
What's it?
It's the one where you literally you connect your shadow to another person's shadow and then effectively just use the shadows to grab the person, yank them through their shadow, pull them through. That almost outright kills a human.
Right.
Almost definitely every time. For another vampire, you now have a surprise attack on them too. That was very fucking painful.
Right.
Yeah, you just basically yeet somebody through the abyss.
Really quickly.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like fast travel through the shadow realm.
I mean, very cool.
It's very cool, but also
Yeah.
It's the shadow version of Scorpions Get Over Here.
Yeah. And another thing, this is not Lasombra specific, but it ties into a lot of their stuff, and I think it's an interesting lore sheet, which is the Cult of Shalim. If you're interested in getting into the lore of the Hungry Dark and things that are coming back from Gehenna, use that in your stories. It's very spooky.
What book is that in?
That is in Chicago by Night.
Okay, I need to read that book so bad.
There's also some more information in the Cults of the Blood Gods stuff for Cult of Shalim, but that's where that starts, and it's very just, oh god, why, like, this is, like, actually existentially terrifying shit. If you want that at your table, please use it. It's a good time.
I dig it.
But that is the Lasombra. How are we all feeling?
I am feeling much more positive about them in general.
Yeah.
I never disliked the clan. I know I joked a lot last episode, but even from like a player perspective, I feel a lot more positive about it. I've always viewed them as like very much an antagonist clan. I always viewed them as like, because I personally, like I mentioned, I kind of know first edition and the new stuff best. I didn't really read a lot of Revised until now that I'm going back to it for the show. And so they were always being presented as an antagonist, and there's more of like straight up being said like, hey, this is something for the, storyteller to run against their players. So that was always my perspective on them. So I always kind of saw them as a player to be trouble or kind of on the edgy side, just because all this stuff was written as a villain to the villains. So you kind of have to push that line on a lot of that content. And I think that's where a lot of that edgelordy like vibe a lot of people used to have comes from them. I think they've pulled back on that a lot too on the newer stuff. Like they're still Shadow Boys, but
But yeah, to also yes and what you like I've never hated the clan. Just go with the jokes because that's what you do with most of them. Just they do attract sometimes that form of thinking and playstyle, but it's not everything. Again, sea pirates. There's so much evidence that you could just be a sea pirate. You could just be a jaunty fucking shadow sea pirate, man.
Well, you can also even take
Or
the mentality of piracy and raiding and that kind of like aggressive tactics into like a boardroom or like negotiations between like gangs, or even, playing a Lasombra who's like, no, I'm used to doing things a certain way, and then coming into an Elysium and just being like, this is how we're doing shit, motherfucker. And, watching all of the more delicate, refined folks have to deal with that and just be like, fuck.
Yeah, it is definitely good to just have somebody that's like, they are power playing, but instead of just, we must follow the decorum and shoot the quails before we start the deals, and just somebody just kick the door in. Fuck y'all, we're doing this.
I mean, I think that's a major theme in V5 that I don't see get brought up a lot, actually, which is kind of a bummer. But what I read in the text a lot is that one of the major underpinnings, especially with like the clans that are of the tower shifting, it is really those growing pains and learning to work with and speak with people who come from different backgrounds or have different beliefs than you, or different political backgrounds or whatever. But now, the world is ending and we have to figure out how to fucking work together, because otherwise these Methuselahs are going to wander out of the desert and just eat us all.
Yeah, just buckle up, Buttercup. We got to work together. John, how you feeling?
Yeah.
Wow, I feel special.
I want to make sure you're included.
It's I have always really liked this clan. I think they're really cool. I do think they're very edgelordy, and that's okay, because after going through history and stuff, they kind of have earned that title in a positive way. Like, I get it. I get why they're edgy. I get why they're like, no, I am darkness and I'm stronger than you. Because, like, as we said in the first episode, their ties to oblivion almost force them to do that. Like, if you're not strong, that shit's gonna eat you, just so you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I like that. I think it's cool. It gives a reason to be edgy, as opposed to be edgy for edge's sake, because I like katanas and trench coats.
Yes, just being a sentient pizza cutter.
Right, yeah.
All edge.
Hey, back off the whirligig saw.
Yeah.
But no, to yes and, like you're saying, like, yeah, all the other antediluvians were just like, oh yes, we'll just go out and spread and make merry. Fucking this thing was just like, no, I took centuries before I was like, yeah, there's my first one. No, this one's good. This one's good.
Yeah.
Probably.
And I like the idea of, if you're going to play Lasombra, trying to play them a bit more cosmopolitan maybe than everybody else, because it's like, yeah, you're from a clan that does a major function of like traveling and going around and having to deal with lots of different types of people. Like, even within your own clan, you're going to have people that have vastly different outlooks than you, but you still all have to like fucking come show up at family dinner and make it goddamn work or you're all gonna die. So yeah, being able to play a character who can be a little bit more worldly and is able to express things with more nuance than some of the other clans, I'm like, please do that. You can be super executive goth and, just be like, oh yes, I've summered in Tunisia and I've done this, that, and another, and have a air of refinement, but also still just being like, nah, I'm a cut a bitch.
Mm-hmm. I've found recently that I really like to take the ideas of a clan and kind of flip them a little bit more. Like I mentioned, I think last episode or after the episode. I think I'm going to try, if I remember. I'm not going to guarantee this to anyone. Oh shit, I dropped my phone. I'm not going to guarantee this to anyone, but if I remember, I'm going to make this NPC. I like the idea of, a young vampire still trying to almost like push away all the shit that's kind of inevitable because of their clan. I like the idea of, this person who's been going through a fuck ton of bad stuff and finally gets embraced by Lasombra. But the entire time, they've still tried to be like a good and courteous person. And now, not only is their life completely ruined, but their blood is telling them to be like, no, fuck that person over. You need what they have. But they're like, but that's not the cool thing to do. Let's not do that. I think it's kind of a cool idea.
I understand that I am at 4 hunger dots. Why do you keep yelling at me to kick that puppy? God.
Right.
Yeah. Kane, stop it. Stop it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're trying to tie your game into like modern happenings, like Sabat's broken. There are the crazy Sabat running around. There are a lot of Sabat going into the Camarilla and some going to the Anarch. Look at what's going on in the world. Somehow, in our year of the Lord 2022, piracy is making a return to our seas.
Yeah, the fact that we have that in the United States Constitution makes me go like, there was a Lasombra in the room that's like, no, make sure piracy's in the notes. Make sure that's cool.
Yeah,
Make sure
Biden,
it's in there.
Biden, say it's cool. Say it's cool. Say it's cool, bro.
Just, I don't know. I just love the yeehaw energy of a bunch of Americans showing up to Ukraine in like a bass boat being like, nah, we got this. Like...
And you know at least one or two of them are going to be successful.
Oh, hell
is
yeah.
the thing.
Hopefully, people who really are into this clan like the episode. I put a lot of work into this, guys. I'm very tired.
Yeah.
I read so many fucking books.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot in this history episode that kind of changed my perspective too. I had only really read like the Sabat focused books and then the original clan book, which is really cool. But there's a lot more in there that I wasn't super knowledgeable of. Like I knew that they used to be pirates and stuff, but seeing like some of the more modern stuff that they were doing in the 90s, like really, really cool stuff you could use for your stories.
Yeah.
Yes. I've not played a Lasombra because Lasombra's kind of like Rogue and D&D where like you kind of like, oh, this could be fun to do, but somebody in the party always fucking snipes it and you're just like,
Damn it. Yeah, agreed.
So, you know, maybe one day. Actually, side note, don't ever let me play a Lasombra. Do not let me do it. I'm gonna be too good at it.
Unhinged monster. Got it.
Yeah, I'm just like, I know way too much about like actual historical monsters and how these things work, and I'm just like, do not invite me to your game to play this.
Oh no, I do love currently in the stream game playing somebody who's definitely not playing a clan that is actively not a background power game character, but I just keep texting the DM behind. Just be like, by the way, he's doing this. And just be like, wait until we're out of character and be like, guys, I did this thing. And they're like, you did what? You fucking monster. And I'm like, yeah, you did.
Yeah. But yeah.
I'm a cinnamon roll.
I enjoyed doing this. I'm hoping that we added enough nuance to give you all something to work with. I guess thanks Paralyze for the music.
Mm-hmm. It is dope.
It is dope. Go check them out on Bandcamp. We exist on the Twitter. I believe we've got the new clan poll coming up.
It should have come out the Friday before we reset the list. So I've listed all of the current V5 clans that we haven't gone over yet and just let them vote. And then I'm going to take the top 2. And then we have one we've been doing some work with. So we're going to throw one of our boys on there. And then it goes to Twitter.
Yeah, because
Blood sports.
We didn't like the idea of it just feeling like a cycle list that's just like these 2 options stay here forever and then everybody votes on the other one. We wanted to like mix it up and, you know, give the patrons something to do.
It'll be interesting looking at what's going on.
Yeah.
I'll let you wait till that hits the
Twitter.
Yes.
If you're on the Patreon, you can go look now, but it'll be...
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, so see us on Twitter for that. We are also on Instagram at BlankBodiesPod. If you like our show and you want to yell at us, blankbodies@gmail. We might do it. We have an interview series. We got more interviews lined up. It's going to be a good time. I'm excited.
Don't forget that Discord. We're always there. We're always active. Like
We got-
almost every day.
Patreon monthly movie stuff coming up. We got people hanging out doing game stuff, organizing game stuff, sharing cute pet pics.
No.
Let us see your kitties.
And dogs.
Yeah.
Doggos.
Yep.
If you got a gecko, hell
Yeah.
Snakes,
See your weird lizard.
spiders, a raccoon.
Yes.
I would love to see a fucking
Show me
possum.
your fucking... Yeah. Oh, my. Yeah.
Possum posting.
If we get a member in our Discord that has a possum, I want pics every day.
Yes.
We're actually doing our movie night tonight as of recording.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's movie night tonight.
You won't. This is after, so I usually don't announce it till we get in there to start watching it. But I believe the winner was In the Mouth of Madness this week.
Fuck yes!
Yes, that movie's so
Shit,
good. But yeah, so that'll be a good time. And if you like what we're doing, we have a Patreon. You can give us money.
We appreciate it when you do.
You do
Yes,
not
we do.
have to, but we also have some goals on there, so we can do 4 episodes a month. We're working towards it. If we get there, rad. If not, we'll get there eventually. It's fine.
Remember, I need money to live.
It's true. I've been saving up. I'm going to upgrade some of our equipment. So we're going to get some better puff mics and little pop filters. Get those replaced.
Wait, if we get a pop filter for Skipper, does that mean he can't?
No.
Oh, no.
It'll be more sensual and
Yeah.
silky.
Ah, okay.
It'll be a little more moist.
Hey. They gotta pay for that, John.
Oh, sorry.
You
can't-
Hey, subscribe to our Patreon.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll add a list for horny Skipper noises.
Yeah,
that.
I will say right now, if you really want that, pay for the character sketch tier, and we can make you some recordings instead of a
Fair.
character
Yeah.
sketch.
Yep.
That is fair. We do have character
If
sketch.
you've been interested in John's kisses,
I'll send you kisses.
Yes. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
bye.
Goodbye, bye.
Goodbye.
Fuck off.
This one's free. This one's free.